Let me get this real quick. We'll see how those turn out here in a second. But anyway, hey everyone, what's happening? I'm Adam. This is Go To Outdoors, and today I'm working on my wildlife photography. Just snapped one of the flocks of geese that typically flies over here in the afternoon. The main reason I'm out here is I'm trying to get a couple pictures of the deer. As you can see, I've got my camera on the tripod. I've got the long lens on there right now. And I've seen a bunch, but unfortunately I haven't been fast enough to really get any good photos because they have been moving today. It was down to about 16 degrees last night. It's supposed to get down to about 20 again tonight, so I'm kind of hoping that as it gets towards sunset, they start moving like they typically do. It's about 3:30 right now, and sunset's obviously coming. You can tell right there. But the big thing is the largest groups of deer tend to move through here usually about half hour before sunset. So I'm looking at right now. I'm looking about an hour before sunset at this point. So I'm just gonna hang tight and enjoy myself and see what I can see. I'll put my hat back on here before too long. Just sitting here, right around 42 degrees right now. I'm gonna get a little warm, so I took the hat off, but it's gonna be going back on quick because there's a breeze that started to kick up and the temperature's dropping quickly. I also got a bit of a fire pit set up here. I'm gonna be out here until it gets dark or until I can't take any good photos again with this camera, which being a longer lens and low light, they don't typically work together because they get dark real quick. But that's what I've been working on, and it's something I want to try and do a little bit more often in terms of getting outside and getting wildlife photography as kind of a thing. I really want that to be a bigger part of what I do here on the channel. Of course, you've seen in my videos back when I was on the AT and some of the other times when I've just gone outside. I haven't been hunting, I just brought my cameras with me. I really do appreciate wildlife photography. It's something I've liked ever since I used to look through National Geographic and stuff when I was a kid. I am no professional by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely a skill I want to improve. Now, photography in general, something I really want to improve for this year. My photography, my videography, like I was mentioning in one of my last videos. But what I will be doing is if I get any good photos of any critters tonight, other than those geese I just got, I hope those turn out. I'm shooting in sport mode in case something's actually running, because they don't typically sit still too long. I wasn't able to get one. There was a trio of deer that just ripped through. I guess something spooked them on the other side of the neighborhood, and they were going flat out, and I couldn't get my camera focused on time. But for the time being, I'm going to see what I can see. And if I get anything else, of course, I'm going to pop it into the video here. Once I get back inside, get back into the studio there, and kind of go over what I'm going to try and do here in the next couple weeks in terms of trying to grow my photography skill and things like that. For the time being, I'm gonna get this fire lit and just keep an eye out for what's coming down. We'll be back. Okay, update. They've shown up right on time in the neighbor's backyard. Let's see, get a couple pics here. I'm going to post a couple of those and you'll see just exactly what I'm looking at. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 so far, and they're not here in my yard specifically because they know I'm looking for them. If this was any other day, if I didn't have my camera with me, if I was just out here enjoying a fire pit or something, or just hanging out, I guarantee you they would walk through the back of the yard here and they would have no problem at all with me. But because I'm sitting out here with a camera, they're going to be giving me problems. Ask any hunter. This is the same exact thing that happens when you're out hunting. I could be out squirrel hunting, have trouble seeing any of them. The second I go in the woods, specifically deer hunt, I don't have a shotgun with me or something like that, the squirrels will crawl all over me. You've seen it when I was in my last hunting video and stuff. When I was in the blind, the squirrels were almost on top of the blind. They were that close. So this is just textbook what happens to anybody who's outside trying to get photos and videos or hunting or whatever. Whenever you're trying to focus on something, that's when it's going to be difficult. But I still enjoy watching them. They came across right from the bottom where I was mentioning before, where they always do. And there's two paths they could take. They could cut up into my yard here, or they can cut into the neighbor's yard. It's really just a small path that kind of like cuts across a creek you can step over. It's whatever the whim of the deer seems to be. That's what they do. But I'm here. I'm enjoying the afternoon. And we're going to see what happens. Because who knows? I might get lucky. They might start walking over. It's probably going to be closer to sunset if they start walking over here, but I'm still going to, wait them out. Two more just came sprinting up from the bottom, two little fawns. And when I say sprinting, he's full trot. They're just chasing each other around. He came up and he's back down again. Back down into the corner. Some really heavy brush. I'm going to try and get this guy on video here doing this. Let's see what I can see over there. Maybe he'll keep playing. He stopped, of course. Oh, nope, they're coming back. There he is. He's running around there. Just love watching them play. I wish they were playing in my yard, but they're still playing. They're having fun, so just gonna sit here and enjoy it. There he goes again. That's just one of the little fawns. I think it's one of the little button bucks, and he's just having a grand old time running around back and forth here. Went back down to the bottom. Oh, and of course, there's the smoke pit. The smoke box that you saw in my Kabasa video. It's still back there because I'm going to be making more of that here pretty soon, too. I'm just going to keep watching them. All right, so as you can see, I am back in the studio. Didn't really see too much after that last clip I showed you there, and the deer that I was trying to get pictures of a little bit closer managed to stay in the neighbor's backyard until it got dark. So spent a little bit of time out there, just enjoyed the fire. Can't complain. It was a great night. Did get darn cold. And speaking of cold, I'm kind of excited because this upcoming weekend could be potential for over a foot of snow. And kind of excited about that because, yeah, reasons. But anyway, so like I was saying, what I'm trying to get done here in the next couple weeks is I'm planning on hitting a couple of the local national parks and state parks. There's a couple little trails I want to try out to try and get some photos at either sunrise or sunset, whatever is actually easiest and most convenient, based on traffic levels. Because I know a lot of the places this close to D.C., District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., tend to be kind of crazy, especially towards the later part of the week. Like Monday and Tuesday would be fantastic ways to hit it up to get at least great parking for great hikes up to sunrises. Sunsets, doesn't matter where you go, they're usually going to be packed. But I'm also going to try and hit up a couple local parks to try and get photos of a lot of the hawks that I've been seeing. Of course, deer, squirrels, whatever other birds I see. I might even set up a blind here in the backyard a little bit closer to where I have some bird feeders, just to try and get some photographs of the local birds and just kind of practice. The more you see, the more pictures you take, the better you're going to be eventually. So that's kind of the mindset I'm keeping myself with. But apart from that, I don't really have too much else to say about today. The last week and a half have kind of been a flop when it comes to getting good photos of the deer that are in the backyard. But it's kind of been a little bit difficult for me to get some really good photographs of the deer here in the last week and a half. Their schedule completely turned on its ear as soon as that first good snow hit. And then, of course, 3 days later, we had even more snow. So the deer that have been around, most of them are bedding down and not really doing too much moving during daylight hours. They have been moving at night. They've actually been coming up towards the back of the house, and I only know this because whenever they do, the girls, the dogs, tend to start barking. So I've had a couple good opportunities to see them, but I can't actually get a good photograph of them. So that's what I'm going to be working on going forward. Apart from that, don't really have too much else to say. So here's a couple photos here. We're just going to look at them. All in all, it was a great day. Got to see that fawn just absolutely having a great time. He was running all around trying to get somebody else to chase him and play, but nobody wanted to play. Nobody wanted to invite him to their little reindeer games. But that's all I got for you today. So like I always say, thanks again for watching. Make sure you find a reason to smile today, and I'll catch you in the next one.